All right, everyone. So I'm gonna probably get started. This is gonna be a small group, which is kind of ideal. That way, everyone will get a chance to get feedback. And yeah, I'm gonna go over a quick slide deck. Shouldn't take too long, and we can get to presenting and pitching really, really quick. So without further ado, let's get into the live pitch and feedback session hosted by me. So starting off, my name is Tejas. I'm the founder of Hack United, and I've been doing hackathons involved in the community for about 5 years now. I'm a 13 times hackathon winner. I've competed across the country, and I've built projects ranging from themes that are just fun to themes where we're trying to solve the next problems of our generation. Additionally, I'm the youngest MLH Top 50 winner from last year. The Major League Hacking is the biggest hackathon community in the world, and I was lucky enough to be honored as one of their top 50 most influential hackers in 2025. Additionally, I'm a builder, a judge, and a founder, so I've been kind of involved in all three facets of kind of the hackathon community. I've been competing, I've been judging, I've been organizing, and yeah, today I'm here to help you guys level up your pitch and kind of make a project that you're confident with. So without further ado, let's continue. So the main reason that Hack United was created was to host hackathons with an emphasis on soft skills. From competing in hackathons, I've seen a lot of technical teams fail to win because they have great projects, but they struggle to convey it in an appealing manner to all the judges. That's why at Hack United, we have a really big emphasis on the presentation, the pitch, and basically helping builders create their projects in the best way possible. So this session should hopefully help you refine your pitch, give you some tips, and give you feedback on your project, because a lot of the times it's always good to reiterate and get feedback from a mentor, a judge, something like that midway through. I think we have about like 24 hours left before submissions are due. So if you guys are in here, you're actually at a perfect time because you know what you're building, but you're not so far in that you have no chance of like pivoting or adding features or things like that. So the format of this workshop is a volunteer will pitch. They can either just share a demo or explain their feedback. It's completely up to them. And then I'll give feedback along with Coven, who's right next to me. He's a co-organizer of this hackathon. He's less technical, but he's very big on the soft skill aspect. So he'll be able to give really good feedback. And I'll obviously be able to give feedback on the project, the technical aspect, as well as your presentation and pitch. And then lastly, we can kind of brainstorm how you'll kind of, I guess, adapt from our feedback, or alternatively, you can just go and discuss that with your team and build yourself. So the main things that you guys should have prepared before you pitch is kind of the problem. I think you should start off with an elevator pitch, and then from there we can get into a demo and things like that. But please make sure that you're explaining these four main aspects. Otherwise, it'll be hard to assess your problem or assess your project and give you valuable feedback. So these are based off of our judging rubric. It's available on our dev post, but a lot of the things include like practicality, creativity, design, things like that. So instead of trying to build like the world's best project, you should build something optimized for those categories and try to increase your. So we got a question. It is okay to not share the screen. That's totally fine. It's whatever's up to you. Sometimes like sharing screen and showing the demo might allow me to give better feedback, but if not, that's totally fine. And yeah, another thing that'll really help evaluate is your build feasible? A lot of the times, especially from my personal experience, I've started off hackathons way too optimistic, and midway through, like at around this time, I've realized that I have to cut back and prioritize the key features rather than spreading myself out too thin. So if you're ever in like a dilemma, I'll assist with that as well. So towards kind of like the middle, I guess when everyone's tired and we're ready to take a break, we'll be doing a giveaway during this workshop. So if you've ever attended a United Hacks hackathon before, we are an online event, so we don't have like the whole communal aspect of eating together, sharing snacks, catering dinner, things like that. So what we do instead is we do something called a grub giveaway. It was kind of briefly explained at the opening ceremony, but we're just gonna compensate someone's meal who's in this workshop midway through. So this can be like an Uber Eats gift card, or you can send us a receipt and we'll reimburse you via a payment platform. But yeah, so it's open to anyone who presents. So this kind of more encouragement to share your idea, even if it's not a full-fledged project. Now, everyone should pitch. I'm a big believer that the best way to build the best project is through iterating quickly, and it's always good just to get another set of eyes, another set of ears on your project. And also for the rest of the hackers in the chat, if you have any suggestions to the presenter or the person sharing their project, that's more than amazing, honestly. And you can share your feedback in their chat, and they can, I guess, kind of like have a grassroots effort so everyone gets feedback. Now, once again, this is a safe space. We're never going to be disrespectful to each other. Respect is one of the most important things that will keep our discussion civil. And yeah, no matter like if you think your product is bad, that's honestly another reason to present, because we can help you kind of frame it in a way that makes it seem good. And even if like you should never be scared of, I guess, giving me or a different community member the wrong impression, because honestly, it's totally fine. We have like multiple judges, so you'll actually get a super diverse landscape of opinions. So it's always good to just get a set of ears from me and Coven. And now, yeah, this kind of was similar to a previous slide, but if you have an idea, just pitch it. Doesn't matter if it's polished or rough, big or small, or if you're confident or nervous. Funny enough, a lot of our V1 competitors, which was back in 2023, that was our first hackathon targeted towards soft skills. And a lot of them now are actually landing jobs, they're winning hackathons, and a lot of it comes from the pitch that they've developed. So this is a great opportunity to kind of refine your pitch, and yeah. So now let's go. Let's start the presentations. And do we have a first volunteer? Anyone who wants to go first, share their idea, optionally share a demo. But yeah, just raise your hand and then we can go from there. Okay, so we have a hand raised from Faisal. Correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. But you can unmute and share your idea.
Yeah, hello?
Hi, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's pronounced Faisal, by the way.
Faisal, all right, perfect.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah,
our project,
you can go, continue.
Yeah. So our project, it's a networking coach, close enough. We call it Reach Right, because we all know networking is very important to us, but it's very mysterious. Lots of people often just say, oh, you should network, you should try to cold email, talk to random professors. But it's not really concrete, and you never have actionable steps, because everyone you want to network with is different. So our project, we take LinkedIn profiles, we scrape the info from those profiles, and then we analyze that data with AI to give actionable angles of how you want to network with that person personally. So let's say you take a profile of someone random, let's say John Doe, and then you see that John Doe guy, he has lots of experience in X field. Then you can say, oh, in your outreach, you can say, I loved how you did X and I loved how you did Y, and you can encourage the person to outreach that way. This can make it easier, because obviously you could do this yourself by reading through the profile, but by automating this with AI, you can give personalized outreaches and personalized networking without the huge time sink into reading a ton of fluffy email pages or a ton of fluffy LinkedIn pages.
All right, that's a really solid idea. Do you want me to give feedback now, or do you have like a demo or something you want to screen share?
Well, honestly, our demo is still in a work in progress. We have our landing page, but mostly we're busy spending a lot of time on our logic, and also we got our AI working, but now we're also working on our scraping logic, because LinkedIn, if you ever try to scrape that site, it's a whole can of beans.
Yeah, I know. Like LinkedIn's auth wall really just sucks for scraping, but I'm sure you'll come up with a good solution for that. All right, so yeah. I think how we'll frame it is I'll give my feedback first, and then Coven can go, and then yeah. So starting off, I'm assuming you're submitting to the theme project, and I really think that resonates really well with the theme of human interaction. I think that what you're doing good is that you have a concrete idea. You're not trying to go and spread yourself too thin. You identified a problem and you're building a solution to help people, and it's really diverse. I think a lot of people could benefit from this. So a few things just off the top of my mind. I think I'll ask a few questions just to further understand, just to get a better understanding. So who's your target audience? Is it like younger people or professionals, or is it like everyone?
Our target audience is mainly people new in a certain field, because obviously, if you have a lot of experience in the field, you already have a diverse network and you already know how to network. But
Mhm.
let's say you're a fresher and you want to go and enter a new field, then at that point, you need to start networking. And networking at the start, it can be very complicated.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And for your AI logic, is it like, are you using like OpenAI's API or custom model or?
Yeah, we got our API keys recently, and we're gonna look at giving it how to use our keys and such like that to
Okay.
give it the data and also our system prompt.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So before I continue, do you have any questions coming? No?
No.
Okay, perfect. So I think that obviously without the demo, just hearing out your idea, it sounds very good. And I definitely think it's a lot of potential. Some things that I would consider, I guess, thinking more about is really how we're going to assist them. I think that like something that people in this situation can do right now is just take a screenshot of someone's LinkedIn, paste the image into ChatGPT, and they'll get like similar suggestions. So I think that a way to increase your technical complexity score is adding a certain type of feature that would kind of eliminate such an easy alternative just using ChatGPT. Some like obviously I can't just, and I probably don't even have one right now, like an idea of how to solve this, but it's definitely something to consider. Like maybe a new feature, something a little more, I guess, innovative. But the problem is definitely real. When I first started like applying for internships and things like that, a lot of my cold emails were terrible. So I'm very glad that there's a problem or there's a solution that you're building to help people in similar situations. I think a lot of people in the community or even in this meeting will resonate as well, and definitely has potential to scale. Another thing I'll mention is that like this is just an idea. I'm obviously brainstorming. You don't have to like follow my advice. It might be bad advice to be honest. But just a thought off my head is I think right now it would be really cool to integrate something a little more complex, like maybe like a pipeline, like an agent or something like that, that kind of not only looks at someone's LinkedIn, but also scrapes the internet. Maybe looking if they have publications on like Google Scholar, if they're a researcher, maybe looking like scraping their GitHub and seeing what type of projects they're building. And then it can also compare your own profile. So if you have your own GitHub, you can like enter it in onboarding and it'll kind of AI will make a profile for you. And then you can compare overlap. So instead of just talking about them, you can kind of integrate yourself in there. And a lot of employers, even with cold emails, don't just like to hear that you've researched them, but they also like to hear that you guys have good synergy and there's an overlap there. So I think more customization on both ends would definitely help your project.
Yeah, I hear that. But also the your points that you suggested, I think it makes sense with our project, but it's also a bit too big for a 24-hour period. And those are definitely steps I would want to work on following this project. But right now in 24 hours, I think I just want to focus on the MVP, get that feedback, and then submit to the hackathon. And then later, maybe a couple weeks ahead, we can start working on those next steps, looking at that deeper research, having agents work on that. But for now, I think we should just go with the
Yeah, definitely. I
simple.
mean, once you get that MVP and your first version solidified, I think you're set. And then you can start experimenting with making it more complex, increasing your technical complexity score, increasing your like practicality score like that. I'm assuming you guys are using AI to code like Cursor, Claude Code, something like that.
Yeah, like half and half.
Okay, perfect. Then I would definitely recommend looking into some like MCP servers to just help expedite your process. There's a lot of good ones. Like I don't know if you've heard of Context 7. It's an MCP server that gives you up-to-date documentation on a lot of different APIs. So that way it'll help you with scraping GitHub, scraping LinkedIn, things like that. And yeah, I think a lot of it just comes from putting time in and researching like how you're going to build faster and prototype faster. But I think you guys have a really good and solid start. So wish you best of luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time, Timas.
Kevin, you have any feedback?
I was actually going to suggest a future. I know Tay just talked about not being too ambitious, and you just talked about the 24-hour window. So if you still want to hear it, I can say it. Otherwise, I mean, you guys can go on with your project.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it. We don't want to just limit ourselves to this 24-hour.
Yeah.
hackathon.
So you guys have a great idea. I actually really enjoyed listening to your idea, and I was thinking like another future could be like your software finding people to connect with as well. So if you want to like have like if someone wants to go to professors specifically for like a specific purpose, like a research project, or if you want to go to find someone who works in big tech for another purpose. So that could be obviously after you do everything else, but I think that would be a good idea for helping people find people to connect with as well.
Yeah, I agree. I originally was thinking, oh, you can just mass paste a ton of different LinkedIn profiles. But again, for our target audience, even finding those profile names can be a bit hard.
Mm.
That's also another pain point we want to solve. Because this one thing, figuring out how to network with someone, and it's another thing, finding out who to network with. Because networking with certain people has no value, while networking with the right people has more value.
Definitely. All right. Yeah, your project definitely has a really good idea, and I'm glad to see the final results.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So before we go on to the next person, I'm gonna answer a few questions. So Arnold, who asked how to center a div, I have no clue. That's one of the questions that's been age long. Is it okay to not share the screen? Yeah, it's totally up to you. You can share the screen if you want. If not, you can do something like what the previous group did and just pitch it. I can't share screen to speak right now since it's midnight here. That's totally fine. If you can't speak, it might be a little hard. Yeah, maybe you can like whisper maybe. I don't know. Alternatively, if you can just send like a paragraph in chat, I think that I can analyze it like that. It might be easier like that. Okay. Khalil said, I have an idea with all of the human targets. I'm working solo, so I'm still working on it. That's totally fine. If you just want to hear others speak, that's fine as well. You don't have to present and pitch. And someone else asked, is it compulsory to give the pitch? It's not, but it really helps me give better feedback. If you just want to share a demo or a link or something like that, I can assist you like that. Or if you just want to type in chat, I can assist you. But I think the pitching aspect is just really beneficial for everyone here, to be honest. So with that being said, does anyone volunteer to go next? You can just raise your hand and then I can, I guess, go with someone to choose. Okay, so if nobody wants to give a pitch, then I guess we can. Okay, Reinu volunteered, so you can unmute and we can get started.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect.
So basically, I had not that of a fancy idea. I had a small problem. Basically, registering in this hackathon was like very great for me, and I it gave me a new opportunities. But the toughest part of a hackathon, like it's winning, but the second toughest part is finding the right people, the right team. So that was a big problem for me, and all the team finders were almost broken. Like messaging random people on Discord did not help that much. So for that, I created my own website in which you can log in through Google. I have set up the authorization to Supabase, like Firebase only, and you can there is a AI which basically separates people through their complementary skills. So like if I choose Python for backend, I will get someone who has JavaScript in their front end. So it basically creates a better position for everyone to create a team. Then you can start working with them in chat, or you can go. I have also added outsourced
Hello.
GitHub, so you can help.
Sorry, you can continue. Arnold, could you please mute? Thank you.
Yes, yes, sorry. And you can also continue with GitHub, share repositories, and like you can also leave feedback. So if a person ghosted you mid project or stole your project, which happens many times, you can report them as well. It will show on their dashboard. So that's my project. Thank you.
Definitely. So I think that that's like a real pain point that a lot of developers have from competing in hackathons. A lot of the times that I've had to find teammates, it's always been spur of the moment. And I think a tool like that could definitely help people be more prepared. Before I give feedback, I'll ask a few questions. So once again, is your target audience, I'm assuming it's like developers who are more new and don't have established teams. Is that correct?
So basically, our the target audience are those developers who do not have their already team set up in offline. So that.
Okay. And another question I have is, how does the actual matching work? Like, I'm assuming that once you create an account, you enter information about like your age, your country, your languages, your tech stack. your interests, things like that, and then it'll match you with other people with similar interests? Is there like an algorithm, or are you using like AI to kind of analyze it, or
So basically, I would like to answer that we are not using any API or AI for that. We are just going with the algorithm which has pre-made complementary skills set up in that only. And I can't show you a live demo right now, but it is almost complete. So basically, you have to fill all your tech stack, and it will go around all the database and start giving you recommendations. And then you can like them and start a chat with them, send a request to them. If they accept, you can start the chat.
okay, perfect. Yeah, I think that even for like something like this, it might be smart to implement kind of something at next level. I know you started off by prefacing that it's like a simple problem. And to be honest, sometimes the best hackathon projects do target a simple problem. And this problem is very real. As I mentioned before, I've experienced it. But I think that once again, something to kind of increase your technical complexity score, and maybe the creativity score could be something with a slightly higher innovation. So I think that, in my opinion, integrating something that would kind of improve the matching would help. I know that right now you said you have an algorithm that looks at the tech stack and gives suggestions, but maybe something that, once again, integrates different technologies and scans social profiles to kind of give better matching logic. So I think that when you're presenting and pitching, instead of just saying that you're going to go off an algorithm that looks at their tech stack, it would be really smart to do something like scanning their GitHub or scanning their LinkedIn or something like that, and maybe even just asking them to enter in who their ideal teammate is, and then just throwing all that into like an open AI call or something like that. And then you can get actual AI insights, which will also be better than just the algorithmic matching algorithm you have right now. But I definitely think that this is a very solid idea. It really resonates with the theme human interaction perfectly. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Of course. I think that you have like a lot of potential to kind of pitch it in a creative way, because we're obviously at a hackathon right now. So I think the judges will appreciate a hackathon centric project. So I think you're in a good spot, especially if you're almost done and you still have another day. Okay, before we move on, we have another message in the chat, how the pitching video should be and what should be highlighted. So actually, I have a really good suggestion for you. If you go to unitedhacksv5.devpost.com, you can see the winner of our best pitch track from last year. And if you watch the video, you can kind of see what it targets. It's creative, it tells a story, but it also shows a demo and shows why their project makes a difference in the world. So I think that if you take inspiration from them, you should be very good. But just to give a more vague answer instead of directing you to a demo, we're really looking for someone to tell a story. And obviously, you don't have to be a professional video editor, but we like to see effort in the demo. We don't just want to see like a recorded Loom video. The best pitch should kind of have kind of like an intro. It should have kind of like a development, and it should obviously end with a demo of your product, because that's very important for your technical complexity score and actually like every feedback category. So yeah, we can move on now. So does anyone else volunteer? You can raise your hand. If not, I know someone just typed in chat, so I can go to them if nobody wants to give a video pitch or present like through the Meet.
Hey Tejas, I have a quick question. I'm one of the
Yeah, of
judges,
course.
and I'm looking basically what time the judging gonna be started.
Yeah, so judging is going to be on Sunday, which is January 18th, and you'll get like a whole email at 1 p.m. That's for judges. That's when we'll start judging, but submissions are due at 12 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. So as long as you can get your project submitted on DevPost by then, you'll be fine. And also, we do have a grace period for all our participants, so don't rely on it, but like 15 or 30 minutes after is fine.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, perfect. So I don't think anyone is going to share their pitch via video, so I'll go to Saransh in the chat right now. So let me just read this real quick. My basic idea is to connect people's thoughts by making an anti-social network where there are no likes and no conclusions. The core features are unfinished, which is a feed where all unfinished posts/threads are posted. User can chain an existing thread or post their own feed. When posting a new feed, the AI moderates it and checks whether the post is incomplete or complete data. This feature is very common, as you can see in Reddit. Echo swap, where a user can duel for 5 minutes with another user, like a debate on a certain point, and that the user has written and has differing opinions. 3, conflict is where users can chat in a chat room only if the rift between argument and non-agreement is less that is tending to agreement. And the target audience for this is very flexible, from teenagers to adults and experienced professionals. Okay, that's actually a very fascinating project. I think that's like one of the more creative projects I've heard in the last few years of attending hackathons. I really like the take you had on human interaction. I think that conflict is something that's unavoidable, and giving users a really good way to I guess, resolve their problems or just debate without having the likes and comments and things like that is really good. So a few things I'll point out is that I like the AI moderation idea, but maybe you can build off of it. I know you mentioned that it's similar to Reddit, so maybe something a little more revolutionary. I know that obviously like you don't reinvent the wheel, but I think that maybe integrating something like a sentiment analysis or something like that could definitely be useful. Additionally, I really like the debating aspect of it, and I'm kind of confused on where like the social feed ties in. Obviously, if you're a really fast builder and you have the time to build all 3 features, then I would definitely go ahead, but maybe trying to find some overlap between the social feed and like the debating would be good, because just from my perspective right now, it seems a little disconnected. But actually, there's a lot of potential here. I really like the idea, and obviously without like seeing the demo or anything like that, I can't speak too much on like the other aspects, but just going off of like the idea and practicality, it's very solid. Actually, you sent a link above, a Vercel.app link. So let me open that up and I'll share my screen as well so I can give feedback to the whole room while we look at this. So this is We Think We Connect. So thinking unfinished, the antisocial network, no likes, no conclusions, just continuum of raw thoughts and radical empathy. Okay, I do like the landing page. It does look a little like AI generated. That's not a bad thing. It doesn't look like the purple gradient or like the super bad, but I think that something we told the judges to look for in this specific hackathon, since the theme is human interaction, is something kind of more, I guess, unique, something that is kind of cooler. And obviously the landing page isn't too important. I'm not sure. I'll try to create an account. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if I'm getting an error. Okay, yeah, I'm getting a 404 error, so you might want to double check that. But I guess I'll just continue to talk about let's see. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Let me log in. Okay, perfect. So recent unfinished thoughts, view feed, find a partner. Let's see this. Okay, I like this design. This is actually a very good looking design. I like that. Let's test it out. I have a feeling that AI will take over the world. And then AI moderation ready. Let's see what this does. So now we're analyzing it. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the AI moderation is cool. I'm not going to test it out by saying something horrendous just because I don't think it's necessary, but maybe something cool like sentiment analysis or a different kind of AI text analysis would be really cool here. And also maybe you can get in like with a matching algorithm that uses AI to kind of export like key traits of a message, and then you can find someone to debate instead of just finding someone to debate by clicking like I want to debate someone getting paired randomly. I think that you already have the infrastructure, like you already made a Gemini call, so maybe just in addition to doing moderation, just make it like a JSON response which has moderation but also has sentiment analysis and maybe even matching. And I think that if you can implement this, it would actually be very cool because this is a very unique idea. I can see your database is working. Let's see what find a partner does. There's strong belief. Okay, so it actually does match, I guess, with someone else because it's asking for this. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Let's say the next level of entrepreneurship, that's not how you spell it, is in younger people. So something like that. And let's enter the echo chamber. So now we're scanning the void for a partner. I'm assuming because like obviously I'll be the only one on this website, I'm not gonna find a partner. But I think it's really cool. Honestly, you have a really good starting point, and this is pretty polished despite you still having 24 hours. So if you integrate the few things that I mentioned before, I think you're in a really good spot. Okay, let me look at your chat real quick. For now, I'm thinking way ahead, working more complicated, this degenerates. Okay, yeah, definitely. No, I agree. I think that your timeline is perfect, to be honest. Definitely the core features are more important than like the landing. Is bribery permitted? Just wondering. Unfortunately, bribery is not permitted. We have like we're gonna have multiple judges per project, so you'd have to be very, very rich, and you'd have to bribe a ton of industry professional judges making well into 6 figures. So if you can ball that much, then maybe, but no, bribery is not allowed. So yeah, thanks for sharing. Hopefully you got some good feedback, and we can move on to the next person. Can we use AI like ChatGPT? Yeah, you can use like AI tools to help build. Anything more except sentiment analysis and chat moderation? I think you have a really good starting point. I think that honestly, I wouldn't recommend adding too many more features because it's already kind of disconnected, like the social feed to the debating. Obviously, like I can infer the link, but the judges only have like 5 or 6 minutes to review each project. So before adding new features, I think just like have a really cool like way to tie everything together. Maybe make them more intertwined, and then you'll be in a really good spot. Okay, moving on to Prajeet. You can unmute and share your project. And after this, we'll actually do a Grub giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned because after this, we'll do the giveaway. But yeah, Prajeet, you can share your project.
Yeah. Can you see the project?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Perfect.
So we are building a course builder. So what problem we are trying to solve is that we have resource fatigue. Like people spend a lot of time searching for resources, different kinds of resources. We wanted to build a place like it's a one-place solution where users can go and see like what they wanted to learn in different kinds of way. So we built this thing called Clever Course. So you can just type in what you wanted to learn. You can upload your lecture slides, and you can type in what you wanted to learn, like intermediate, your level, and your goals and stuff like that, number of sections, and it will create a course this way. So let's say this is pre-built. It's for machine learning, and yeah, it will create a course like this, and you can view study materials. For now, we have mind maps and flashcards for each section. Yeah, and then quizzes to like retrieve the knowledge that you studied. So this is what we did, and the entire course network. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. The first thing I'll mention is that the design looks really, really good. That I really like your UI and your experience. I think it looks like amazing. I love the mind maps. I love the ease of use. Even when you're going on to the practice, like the practice problems, all that looks really, really good. So big props to you for that. I think the judges will love it. Another thing I'll mention is that I think is really useful. Obviously, like we're in a new age where everyone is kind of being more self-taught. And while not everyone is going to college, I don't know if you were at the Pega 6 workshop. It's our keynote sponsor, and they're an alternative to college. And I think that something like this could be software they actually use. So maybe I'll connect you both, and you can maybe like get your first customers from them if you decide to build past the hackathon.
Yeah, that really.
Yeah, and then now I'll give you more, I guess, grows. So I think that something you should kind of implement is something to increase your creativity score. Like a lot of these projects that help people generate courses have been like projects that our judges have seen before. They're very common, and right now your design is really good, and that's something to differentiate yourselves. But I think you should add another thing to kind of make yourselves more different from the existing projects that do the exact same thing.
Yeah, we are also building like a gamified version of this MVP. Like users can compete with others, and every time they finish a course, they'll get XP, and we'll track the leaderboard and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that is one.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely cool. I think that once that's implemented, they'll definitely help, I
Mhm.
guess, differentiate even more.
Mhm.
Something else that I could recommend is maybe, actually, I don't know if I want to give this advice because you guys already have a lot of features. I was going to say something like make it an all-in-one tool where you can do things like analyze video lectures or do something completely revolutionary. Not revolutionary, but something that other projects that do the same thing don't really have. This could be like AI lecture generation, AI podcasts, things
Yeah,
like that. Maybe a different.
yeah,
Uh,
we are doing that too. We are
okay.
doing like, do you know Talvi AI? Talvia AI?
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, it's like a web agent. You can connect it with your project. It will search like lectures and stuff like that, and then
Okay.
bring it. So yeah, we are integrating that. I so the one of the problems that I'm currently facing is that, so this course content is generated by Gemini, and it takes like uh, around 1 to 2 minutes, depending on number of sections that we create. So if I create like 6 sections per course, it takes like 2 minutes. So in the past hackathons that I participated, judges won't like think that the project is broken or something, and they don't see the ending. So that is one of the problems that I'm facing. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, of course. So there's a few suggestions I can include. I'll go from the easiest to then the more complicated solutions. The
Mhm.
first solution is in your demo, it's always okay to speed up the loading times. So in your video, just hop into like a basic video editor and the part where it's loading, just speed it up like 4 times or 5 times, just so it becomes like 4 to 5 seconds. And add text being like um, video sped up for demo purposes, but that's always fine. So you can always do that. But if you actually want to increase the time or decrease the time it takes to load, I have a few suggestions. The first thing you could play around with is using a different model. If you go to our sponsors resources channel, we have
Mhm.
a sponsor called Featherless AI. They're an LLM provider. And actually, I'll connect you with the advisor from them, and he'll help you choose a better model. He'll give you free credits so you don't have to pay anything to use better models. And that might help decrease the time just because the model is better. But also, there's another, like, off the top of my head, there's a lot of ways to reduce LLM times.
Mhm.
And the main way for this is to A, decrease the complexity of the prompt, B, choose a better way to tokenize. Like in past hackathons, I've done some crazy stuff. For example, like once it was super important that our demo was super fast because we only have like 2 minutes. So what we did is we took our prompt, put it into Google Translate and put it in Mandarin. And then I don't know why, but our LLM was parsing the prompt better because Mandarin took less characters.
That's
So I
nice.
would I would definitely Google it and play around with other ways to optimize. But
Mhm.
in our Discord, you can look at the sponsor resources and connect with our advisor from Featherless AI. I think he'll give you some good help, and he's more technical than me, so he'll be able to help right there as well.
Yeah, I will sure do that. Thank you, Tejas.
Of course. All right. So before we go on to the next presentation, I think everyone's hungry. I think it's time to do a grub giveaway. So I kind of explained how it worked before, but we're going to be choosing a random winner in this call. And at first I said you have to present, but honestly, the audience has been doing a really good job paying attention, being respectful. So I think I'll open it up to everyone in this call. So there's 15 people here. I think the best way is honestly just to do a spin wheel maybe. So I'm gonna copy everyone's name real quick and put it in a spin wheel, and then we can choose the winner live in just a second. So I'm just gonna make the spin wheel real quick while we're waiting. So yeah, let's do that. So I have the first batch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 minus myself and the staff team. So let's be, give me a list of names minus pages, minus staff teams. So there should be 12 people on this list. Let me open up a wheel spinner. Okay, so let me share my screen. Entire screen. This, and by the way, the budget for the Grub giveaway is $25 USD. So you can get any meal you want under 25 and we'll reimburse you. Alternatively, we can just give you a $25 gift card to like DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever you use. So we're gonna use Wheel of Names. This list should have everyone on here that's in the call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then in the call, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, someone just joined, I think. Oh, 2 people just joined. Or no, wait, what am I saying? Okay, just tell me in chat if your name is on this list. I'll wait like 15 seconds before I spin the wheel. Just tell me in chat if your name's on this list. So yeah, I'll wait like 15 seconds. So if you don't see your name, tell me in chat and I'll add you. Okay, my name isn't there. So Ali, let's add you. And let's also add Rajit. Oh, he said my name is there. My bad. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Noted. Okay. So Ali was not there. Now he's on, and we should be good to spin the wheel now. So let's spin it. Oh. Okay. Wait. This is very bad. Idris was not on the list. Okay, we're gonna redo that with Idris. I apologize, Jackson. We're gonna redo it with Idris now because he was not on there before. Okay, so this is the real one. My apologies, guys. Let's spin it now. Okay, and it looks like our winner is Khalil. So congratulations on winning. Make a ticket in the Discord server to claim your prize. And yeah, congrats. All right. Doctored. It is not doctored, my friend. So, yeah. Before we continue, does everyone else want to pitch their project? If you do, raise your hand, and then if not, we can, I guess, end a little bit early if everyone's done. All right. It looks like everyone is done. Before you guys leave, make sure to fill up the workshop form. That'll be sent in chat, or it was already sent in chat. I'll send it again though. So let me just send that and fill this out. So during our closing ceremony, we'll choose a winner for a cool prize. Not sure what that prize is yet, to be honest. So it'll be like a swag pack, a keyboard, maybe even a gift card. I don't know. We have to decide that. But make sure you fill out that form to solidify your attendance of being here. And thank you all for attending my workshop. If you have any questions, I'll be active in the Discord. And good luck, everyone.